Good morning, all of you. So we'll continue with the refraction at reflection spherical surface, some convex mirror, concave mirror, some problems I do. Then later on we'll go for Snell's law of refraction, refraction at plane surface. Okay, read the question. So we have here like a parallel beam of light is incident on a concave mirror of focal length 40 centimeter. Then we have a convex mirror of focal length 10 centimeter. It's asking what is the y coordinate of the final image.
In the picture he gave concave.
Concave, convex, both are there, no? Correct, no?
Presentation is wrong now, sir, in the picture.
Consider a concave mirror kept at origin with focal length 40 and parallel rays with certain angle theta are incident. A convex mirror is kept at correct? No, I think concave.
Second mirror should be
Second mirror should be convex.
That one.
The picture
okay. Silvering problem. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, we'll make change. What is there in that one? Okay, this one. Yeah. Now get into this one. Now the reflected rays. So parallel beam, no? What to do with parallel beam? So here we'll directly take help of just wait. Yeah. If object given, we are able to manage, no? So all what happened, they'll converge at the focus here. So here, let me take the. Here only I'll try to show it. Again, it'll be very difficult. Okay, this will be the thing. So shall we take the position? This as I1. So what should be the OI1? OI1 should be equal to F1 it is. So I'll call this is F1, this is F2. Okay, things will be easy for us. So this should be equal to how much? It should be at the focus of the concave mirror at F1, that image will be formed. Okay, then angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection. So this should be the theta. Okay, these are the, we have assumed it, no? So we'll call this as theta. So with this, we'll get the Y1. So what is first calculation? So tan theta 1 equal to Y1 by F1 or Y1 equal to F1 theta. No, this image I1 will become object for the convex mirror. Okay, one second, I'll change it. So that, okay, this will be PI. PI will become virtual object distance and PI2 is what we have to find out. So let's go for the formula. PI2 plus PI1 equal to F2. This we don't know. PI1 should be equal to 15 centimeter plus 15. This should be plus 10. So PI2 is equal to 30 centimeter. It will come. The final image. Okay, let's go for magnification. M2 is equal to minus of PI2 by PI1. Both are positive. Plus 30. Okay, now I got magnification M2. So what is Y2? Y2 should be equal to Somebody please mute it, no? Again and again. Huh? Y2 is equal to M2 into Y1. So what is Y1? Y1 we have from here. Y1 from here. So value of M2 is what? We know it is -2. Y1 theta, theta, okay, this one Y1 will be, F1 is equal to how much? 1/40. And theta is 140 radian. So shall I directly substitute? Theta is 40, sorry. This will be 1 centimeter. We can take it. So that will be 1, you put it. So -2. So Y2 will be, Y1 is -1, no? +2 it will be. So 2 times of that, and where it will be at a distance of 30 centimeters. So here is what? The image Y2. Real or virtual? Should be virtual. So if you, we have, I think I can plot the ray diagram. I'll try my level best. It should be diverging or should be converging? Should be diverging rays, that one. In exam rough diagram, you can't go for so neat everything. Maximum the ray diagram, what happened, you should able to conclude in a very simplest way. That's what I suggest. Yeah, fine, everything. Find the y coordinate of the image. Y coordinate of the image, what shall we write? Final y coordinate of the image. Final answer. So what should be this one? 30 centimeter. From PI to 30, no, 30 plus 25, 55 centimeter. Then 2 centimeter. This will be the answer. So even, so I think in books we have where object is kept. I just brought in ray. And when a parallel beam of light is incident on a concave mirror, you see, try to get the position of the image. They'll converge the focus, not at on the axis, somewhere at below the axis here. Okay, let me take the next one here. And this is about pure mathematics. Huh? Just you must have what will happen to acceleration. Like we are bringing acceleration due to gravity into the picture. Okay, directly get into the formula. Say we have only mirror formula, no? That mirror formula should be differentiated. There's no other way. So there's a one problem. I'll begin like this: 1 by v plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. I'll differentiate this. This will be minus vi by v square vu, velocity of object. No, all these are along y-axis. Huh? Velocity of image with respect to mirror. This is the velocity of object with respect to mirror by u square. This should be 0. So what is vi is equal to minus of v by u whole square into vu. Agree this. So what is the velocity of the object at any time? Should be equal to gt because it is falling freely. Velocity of image at any time. Okay, let's get into the problem. So and what will happen to v and u? As u varies, the v also will vary. As v varies, so therefore insert this. Let me go for formula magnification. VO and U. U is what? Not velocity. U is what? U is a position. VO is what? The velocity of object. Able to understand? V and U are positions. So if you want, you can go for YI, YO. If you're getting confusion with V and U, no, you can go for Y and O. So V and U are what? The position, velocity, like a position of image, and U is position of the object. So we know magnification further. We can write it as F by okay, let's substitute all the things here. No, this will be minus. Okay, only magnification. Let me go for it. What should be the position of the object after some time t? It was at a height h, so h minus gt square by 2. What is velocity of the object? Should be gt. Bo should be equal to gt after some time. And what is h? H should be f by 2. Substituting this, bracket term will simplify. F by 2 plus gt square by 2. I think I'll, if I simplify all, minus negative sign, minus 4f square gt by f plus gt square whole square. Okay, this is the expression for velocity of image at any time t. Maximum speed is asking. I think I'll go for dvi by dt equal to 0. Then we should calculate the time. That value I'll substitute. I'll get the maximum velocity of the image. Anybody? I think you should help me here. Differentiate this.
T is equal to under root of f by 3g, sir.
F by 3g. Substituting this, we'll get the maximum value. I do have answer, no? I give an option. Just do remember nothing, no? It's all about the mathematics, nothing to do. You so some students, I don't know, they go for re-diagram all. This is not needed. I think you should remember now. If object is along the axis, then there's a formula what you are supposed to use here. I think in notes I give one more formula. If no object is not on the axis, better to remember that also, or at least you should know how to bring that equation in the exam. And this is once again, I just wanted to revise. I gave one formula. Can you remember? You can avoid that formula. Just now I brought it, no? So velocity of image along x-axis. There are two things are there. We have x-axis and this y-axis. So what is the velocity of image along x-axis? Vix is equal to m square into Vox bar. What is Vox? And first of all, we'll calculate the magnification. For the magnification we needed, we'll go for 1 by V plus 1 by U equal to 1 by F. I think this is the convex mirror. Object distance will be negative. Focal length will be plus 15. V is equal to 15 by 2 centimeter. So then magnification is how much? M is equal to minus of V by U. And what is U? U is 15. So therefore U is minus 15. So therefore this should become equal to plus 2, plus 1 by 2. Okay, there's a magnification. So that is substitute that we'll get the velocity y coordinate, x coordinate of the image. This should be equal to 1 by 2 whole square Vox. Vox is component of velocity. 15 cos 37 minus 1 by 4. Now 15 cos 37, 4 by 5 minus 3 meter per second. So what do you mean by negative? I assume Vix positive. So Vix I got negative. So it will be towards left. Then how to get the y coordinate? Directly take help of magnification. So you know magnification. Magnification is what? Like a yi by yo. So yi is equal to m into I. Differentiate this. This will become VIY. Negative sign is needed. No? And this will become VOY. This will be much easier, no? And that instant, what when the y coordinate will have a velocity. Okay, this put it like this. So we know magnification how much it is 1/2. VOY will be 15 sine 37. Now whether we are right or wrong, negative sign that will check it. Nothing wrong. We will try to check it that also. Now 1/2 15. This will be 3/5. 3 minus 9/2 meter per second. Now just for convex mirror. So what is the magnification? We got positive, no? They should not be there. Huh? I think that this negative sign should not come. Only when V and U comes, it should be there. Yeah. So altogether, what is the velocity of image? Vix plus Vi. Now we'll use unit vector. So minus this will be 3i cap 4.5 j cap. Is asking speed. Go for resultant. So what is the idea here involved is, what is the idea involved is, if you want X component, you use this formula. If you want Y component, use this formula. I think more than this, I may not help you at this stage. Don't involve in lot of derivations. You must go to the exam with these ideas. How to calculate magnification? You know this. I suggest you to remember this one. Finish all. Getting? So Y component of the image, just magnification into Y component of the object. What about the y x component of the image? Minus m whole square box, velocity of the object. So definitely, I think in exams, they want students to really think in this way. So you should try to search all the possible shortcuts that are available. I gave one more formula where in terms it was y coordinate, everything. If you well remember, okay, or else go for this shortcut method. One more, it is something marginal rays, related to marginal ray. Read the question, meanwhile I'll set the diagram. This is a normal center of curvature it is. A ray is incident parallel to the at an angle of incidence if radius of curvature of mirror is r. Okay, this distance is what? We know it is equal to r. The ray meets the principal axis at distance d from the center of curvature. I think this is the center of curvature. The ray will meet the principal axis here. Okay, this, let me take some A something symbol. Is asking the distance AC. That's what. Then the distance D is. Okay, this is, yeah. Let's take the some perpendicular. What is the information given? This theta is given. Angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection. This is incident ray. This will be reflected ray. So what can be this angle? 2 theta. If this is 2 theta, this must be theta. If this is theta, then we'll get isosceles triangle. So this is a pole P, no? So let me take M. Or let me write B. No. AB should be equal to AC. So therefore the distance BC should be equal to 2D cos theta. Yeah. Shall I write like this? Okay, B, this is C, D. This will be bisected. It will come. So the BC should be equal to CD plus DB. So this should be equal to D cos theta plus D cos theta. What is the distance BC? BC should be equal to R, no? BC equal to PC is equal to R. So therefore this will become R by 2 cos theta. Don't try to search anything. So whenever marginal rays comes, it's a geometry. Whenever panaxial rays comes, we have mirror formula, magnification formula. I think already previous class I made this as a rule. Just follow this. Even parabolic mirror comes all. So you should take help of the geometry here. Can be asked in advance because we'll try to use some mirror formula, this, that, and we'll end up somewhere, nowhere in the situation. I'll scroll down. Okay, slab. Okay, first we'll do one thing. I'll just let me do some problems on spherical, then I'll go for the slab one. Read it. With one liquid, we have done enough problems. Here, what happened is more than one liquid is what I brought it. Okay, draw the diagram. At least I think we need diagram. So no guesswork will manage here. So I'll start with the diagram. Is asking the diameter of, there are two liquids are there. Both are filled to equal height. Now finally, the ray is able to see this, is able to see this corner. what will happen to the ray? Ray will go like this, will undergo refraction. Then again it will be incident at a corner. It moves from denser to rare, no? It should bend. I'll change this slightly in this. Okay, now the ray here, it is like this. This is how much? Root 15 by 2 centimeter. This is refractive index NB, NA. So we'll write this is theta B, theta A. This will be theta A. So what we have to calculate is the diameter, no? So this will be the diameter. X1 plus X2 we have to determine. Okay, let's get into, are you able to understand? So the person is such that what when now he is able to see. So shall I call this as say some PQ? You ask the person will be here. So what will be his comment? I'm able to see PQ. I can see PQ, but he say that he is unable to see QR. I can't see QR. The human eye says I can see PQ and can't see QR. At least you are able to understand the question. This much is what. There you go. So let's now get into the geometry. Nothing is there afterwards. Apply Snell's law at the first interface between the liquid. So there, if I applied NB sine theta B equal to NA sine theta A. So we know NB root 3 by 2 sine theta B. NA is root 2 sine theta A. How to bring sine theta A? Let me take help of this one. So let me apply at the corner here, this particular point. Applying Snell's law here. NA sine theta A should be equal to 1 into sine 45 degrees. NA is how much? Root 2. So what is sine theta A should be equal to 1 by 2. And that value 1 by 2 you are going to substitute here. So this will be root 3 call equation 1, 2, 1 into. Now we'll just is a calculation based, nothing is there. So sine theta B should be equal to 1 by root 3 into 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 6. So after getting sine theta B, so we need tan theta B, no? Let me go for triangle. So this is theta B, 1 root 6, call this is R. So therefore R square equal to 1 square plus.
R will be root 6, sir.
Okay, this is 6, this is R, you write it. Root 6 whole square, 1 square, R square. So R should be root 5. Okay, now we know sine theta B. From that, we'll get tan theta B. From tan theta B, I'll get x1. So I'll proceed in this way. The calculation part will be tan theta B is needed. No? Tan theta B should be 1 by R. So 1 by root 5. So from the triangle, now if you want, okay, you have to look at this triangle. This is x1, this is theta b, and we know this is root 15 by 2. So we'll get the x1. So tan theta b should be equal to x1 by root 15 by 2 root 5. Now similarly we'll search for x2. We know sin theta a. So for that we need tan theta a. Sin theta 1 by 2. Call this is say some r we assume no symbol. Some L. So 2 square equal to 1 square L square. L is equal to root 3. So tan theta a tan theta a, looking at this diagram, tan theta a should be equal to x2 by root 15 by 2. Root 5 by 2. So he's asking diameter. So what is the diameter of the vessel? Okay, what is this overall concept? It's like the eye will be positioned in such a way that now is able to see PQ, is unable to see QR. You do have some, I think in class also I discussed, please do revise that one. Means to what height the liquid should be filled up in a container so that is able to see the midpoint. Here I'm able to see PQ because of this condition. With one liquid only we have, now here more than one liquid is there. Later on I'll shade it, yellow, blue color, I'll show it, two liquids are there. So this will be our answer. All this I picked up from assignment. You do have some very good questions are there. Please try to follow them. See, one which already you know, just see and think and analyze it. The one which you feel, okay, some effort you have to put, no? So they take paper, pen and start working. You should be ready for, there's the one, it's a very important idea. In advance till now they didn't ask. So let me just revise some. We have here container. Now the eye is positioned. It will give the position of eye. So what the eye is able to see only now, A, B, C. Okay, call this is D. I can able to see AB, no? And let me give this position. So this angle, let it be. So let this be a height, I'll give. The width of this, let it be D. Okay, D already there, no? Capital R will take it. This is a cylindrical vessel or cubical vessel, let it be. No, so definitely this angle should be 45 degrees. No? This one. If he has not given that angle, so what you can do, you can find out by ohm. You can find out there's an empty vessel. So what I say is I'm able to see AB. So the eye will be positioned here. So what it says, I can see side wall AB. I can see AB and can't see BC. Okay, here what happen? I'll keep a flower exactly at the midpoint. I can't see BC or flower. No, To view the flower, what shall I do? I'm going to fill up a liquid. This, I think, the overall, the idea of the problem. You should extend for this any other thing. So you just think on it, analyze it. No, what happened? To what level I should fill up a liquid so that I should able to see it. Okay, liquid. No, let me bring the liquid so you'll get a exact picture like what you are studying. To what level, what when the liquid should be filled up so that the person is able to see the flower. How it is possible? Through refraction. And this question is there in SU Verma. Please do you, these are the fundamental things. Huh? If you know one problem, no, with this anything related to this 10-15 numericals you can do. So such extent these questions are there. Let's do one thing. Take this. Not visible. Put it like that. This flower should be made visible. Where the flower is kept exactly at the midpoint. So if it gives diameter, so let me do one thing. I'll call R. Where it is kept flower exactly at a distance R/2. Let me take it. Let me put things in this way. Now the ray water element will come from here. Will undergo refraction. Now will enter into eye. Now you ask, I can see AB and I can see AB. So what would be comment? AB and BO. Call this is O. Flower is kept at the midpoint, no? BO. I can see AB and BO. And anyway, flower, that one. Able to make it out? This one. So what we know this angle. This angle is what 45 degrees. So what height I should fill up the liquid. So now the angle of incidence theta. Okay, take this as X. So only one thing is what? This is mu, this is A, no? So apply Snell's law. Mu sine theta. This angle should be 45 degrees. 1 into sine 45 degrees. So we know mu of A. Usually this will be water. So I got the sine theta. After getting sine theta, I'll get the value of X. After getting the sine theta, I'll get the value of, after getting sine theta, so now I had to calculate small h, no? So what is tan theta? You can write it as X by H. Directly get in. So we need H. So what is H? X equal to X tan theta. So you know sine theta value, but we don't know X, no? How to bring the X? You can take help of this one more triangle. Tan 45 is equal to, tan 45 should be equal to R/2 minus X H minus small h. From where I brought it? Looking at this triangle.
S6, that triangle.
Okay, this triangle. R/2 minus X by capital H minus small h. So we know this RH, X and H unknown thing, here extension, solving these two will get the required answer. Snell's law is a very small idea, this one. So now OC is unable to see. You can say BO is able to see that one. Some good questions are there. Please do verify, because only ideas is what you should know how to utilize. Okay, this idea involved. Oh, there's a thing. Previous problem, there were two liquids are there. Here I brought one liquid. Multiple liquids will come. Now only point objects are, what about the any object is there? So even you can bring a rod, some rod. The total rod should be visible. So maybe what can say, there's no problem with this part. No, if I is here, there's no problem with this part. What will not be visible is either this part or this part. So to make it visible, I'm bringing. Previous problem was visibility of only this. Now here what the visibility of this much will be there. In the first situation, only visibility will be there this much. So now we are making it to, by filling up a liquid, we are making it to visible till here. I just took here point object. He can bring some any rod he will keep here. So instead of keeping flower, no, you'll say the rod. Okay, this rod should be visible. Nothing but you want to say this length should be visible. I'll scroll down. Okay, no. First we'll take this one here. The ray at air and liquid what happen will undergo refraction here, no? Then afterwards it will pass through the slab. We know that what is the deviation produced by the slab will be zero. What all deviation occurs only at the air and liquid. So shall we take this answer? No need to do big. What all the deviation occurs will occur only here. What about when a ray passes through a slab? It will not undergo deviation. Of course, there will be a shift. There will be a shift will be there. But what will happen? No deviation. So what is the basic idea? No deviation from the slab, and a ray encounters deviation only at air liquid interface. There are many questions are there in assignment I given. Do check, some simple ideas are involved. Okay, let me go back to this. I think here. I'll start reading now. Slab is also moving and the mirror is also moving. What is the speed of the slab? Will it have any influence on the velocity of the image? No, nothing. Say, as you change the position of slab, the nature of image will change. Am I right? As we change the position of slab, nature of image will change. Nature of image will change. So what will happen to speed of the image? Speed of the image is independent of position of slab, but nature of image depends on slab. So I'll do conclude here. Nature of image depends on position of slab. Okay, there's the first thing. What about the position of image? Position of image is independent of position of slab. Agree this idea? Position of image is independent of position of slab. As the position is independent, so what will happen to velocity of image? Therefore, velocity of image independent of position of slab or velocity of slab. Okay, fine. So there's a one conclusion is what we are making. As independent of position means as the position changes, the velocity of image will not change. So I need not to bother the position of the velocity of slab. No, only what I should do. Velocity of the only mirror is moved here. So what is our formula? Our formula will be VIMX should be equal to minus of M square VOMX. It is the idea is like this. So magnification, keep it as it is. VOX minus Vx. So Vix. If mirror moving, no, then you are going to bring conditions like this. If mirror at rest, put that one. So what is the velocity of velocity of mirror? 2u. Object is at rest. Again, substitute m with sign. No, as the mirror moves, what can be magnification? Okay, I think now rather than blindly concluding, I do have equations in my hand. What is m? M can be less than 1, greater than 1, or equal to 1. No? And m can be positive or negative. But anyway, it's m square is there. No? So we'll have positive velocity. Shall I pick up this option? May have speed greater than the speed of the mirror. May have speed greater than, may have speed greater than the speed of the object. Anyway, like object is at rest, no? Object is not moving. So option A will pick up. May have. Shall I slide down? Do work out some slab and mirrors. We discuss some problems. Huh? Okay, there's one good question. I brought it. Is there an assignment? I'm testing your mathematics here. Nothing big. Only your maths will be tested here. Why is not coming? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Get into the problem. Read the question. I'll have water. Meanwhile, you read it. It's a diagram based question. Huh? So I want students to draw the diagram. Let's see that. Huh? Through diagram, you are supposed to analyze. That angular width, will it change? First of all, what do you mean by angular width? What does it mean? See the rays emitted by the edge. So you look at the dotted line. No? So they'll undergo refraction. And what will happen to the person? Person, what happen? The length of the fish, what happen, will increase. So definitely the angular width has to change. Able to understand? So we were talking about the apparent height. No, I just brought like this. How the fish will it appear long? Yes, it'll appear longer. What do you mean by longer? This length. I think all of you length of the fish. I'm not talking apparent depth. We are talking about this one. So fish will appear longer. Definitely will feel happy. No, all non-vegetarian who are eating fish, they feel happy. Okay, I'm going to get the big fish. So therefore, the angle subtended will change. Let me get into the diagram. The width of the fish, let it be D. You think on it, meanwhile I'll construct the diagram. Same level. This is actually the length of the fish. So we'll write this as AB, will write it. So that will be easy for us. I can't draw fish here. Time being, let me take this one. So this will be D. So and there's an I. Now see it. So these are the rays emitted by it. So there's the initial without water. Let me show it clearly. AB is a fissure. So without water, definitely what happens, the rays will go directly and they'll subtend an angle, delta theta. Now same thing, same width. I have to take it. No. The rays emitted, what will happen then? They'll undergo refraction. There's a basic idea. They'll undergo refraction and they'll enter into the eye. Slightly bend, we have to show it. I'll come to this later on. Let me. I had to show the rays will bend, no? So this is with water. Now the angle subtended this will be different. So this will be delta t dash, delta theta dash. That is what he's asking. Okay, let's go for vertical. So there's a vertical. If I can draw the diagram perfectly, I think problem will be very easy. That's what I'm trying. Yeah. Okay, no. So this is the additional shall we call A dash B dash. Hope all of you are able to understand what I wanted to. This would be the angle of incidence, theta 1. This is theta 2. So let me take this is x, this is y. And till here is what the distance. This was d, no? Write out all possible equations if you want to write it. So below is everything liquid is there. So what is the refractive index of liquid? That is mu. This is air. Shall we write first equation x plus y should be d by 2? I'll break it up. First equation x plus y is d by 2. What is x? Anybody? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, now we have to really take help of maths. Huh? Our physics is over. The delta theta dash has to be determined. Theta 2, shall we write it as delta theta dash by 2? One more very important equation. This angle should be equal to theta 2, no? So we'll make it here. It will be easier. Apply and we'll apply Snell's law. What is the Snell's law says? Mu theta 1 equal to theta 2. Okay, there's one more. These equations. What is x plus y? X plus y is d by 2. What is x and y you can replace? So here tan theta 1, shall we write this is y by, what is this 2 meter, no? This is 2 meter. This is 2 meter. Or if you want, you write h. So that will be easy for us. So first looking at this triangle, look at here triangle. Tan theta 1. Shall I write y by h? I'll write all the triangles here. Tan theta 1 equal to y by h. So y is equal to h tan theta. Theta very small, tan theta 1. Similarly, tan theta 2, I can write it as x by h, or x equal to h tan theta 2 or h theta 2. So x is how much? H theta 2, y is h theta 1, and this is d by 2. So theta 2 plus theta 1. And theta 2 further, what you can write? Mu theta 1, substituting that. H into, this will be mu theta 1 plus theta 1 equal to d by 2. So therefore, so we'll get all together d by 2 is equal to h theta 1 1 plus mu. Okay, further, what is theta 1? You can write it as. I think theta 2 I'll replace. Huh? Theta 2 I'll replace. Theta 2 is needed, no? Theta 1 will become theta 2 by mu. I'll erase this. Let's come this one. Theta 2, this theta 1 will be theta 2 by mu equal to d by 2. So therefore, theta 2 is equal to mu plus 1 by mu d by 2h. Theta 2, what you can write it as delta theta dash by 2. Delta theta dash is equal to mu d . So we have to bring that in terms of delta theta. So how to bring the quantity, you know? So tan delta theta 2 from looking at this triangle should be equal to d by 2 by h plus h. D by 4h. Shall we take, I'm taking this bigger triangle. This one. D by 2 h plus h it will be. Okay, very small. This angle will be very small. So then it should be equal to d by 4h or d by 2h. Okay, the equation 1. To equate these two, then we'll get delta t dash in terms of the known quantities. D, what you can write delta t, this one, so 192. Mu will be there, so d by h mu by 2 1 plus mu. Check it answer. Two mu by 1 plus mu. 8 by 7.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, what is the thing? So the length seen by the, so what is the conclusion? I'll just make conclusion. What is the length of the fish as seen by the eye will be a dash b dash, not ab. It will appear a little bit longer. So I may ask you, what is the length of that one? So you can calculate like this. Without water, the length is AB. With water, the length will be A dash B dash. A dash B dash will be greater than AB. So do remember, any conceptual question may ask. So I think once you know delta T dash, you can calculate the length. Am I right? So length of the fish will be A dash B dash with water. I will scroll down. Read the question. I'll magnify it. Yeah. An opaque disk of radius flows on the surface of transparent homogeneous liquid. The source disappears. I think it's asking some TIR ideas. Nothing is big is there. So there's a disk is there. We'll go for plane diagram. Below everything is there's a liquid. Now when the height of the liquid is something say 1.33 centimeter, the rays what happen will undergo TIR or they'll graze. And no longer they'll undergo refraction. I think so. This should be what? This should be the critical angle. And there's a radius R. It's there in SC Verma. As the level falls, when the level of liquid is something is equal to H, the ray what happen will undergo TIR here. I'll make. Get into this one. So there's a liquid. So critical angle. So what is a mu? Mu is equal to sine c is equal to 1 into sine 90 because this is air. So this is a disk. So we got the value of sine c. What is sine c? Sine c should be is equal to. So first what we have a triangle. Tan c is equal to r by h. From this you calculate the sine c. Substitute that. So mu r by root of r square plus s square equal to 1. Substitute r and h value. So you'll get the required value of mu. What is the basically concept as the silica as the level of liquid increases, then the angle of incidence will decrease. Then when the angle of incidence become less than critical angle, the ray will undergo refraction. So that the person is able to see. So now the person is unable to, no rays will enter the person's eye. Please understand the very small, some idea is involved here, nothing big. When the level of liquid is more than H, the ray here will undergo. When the level of when the height of the liquid is more than H, the rays here will undergo refraction and they will enter into and is able to see. So once what happen when the height of the liquid becomes less than or equal to this, what happen the rays here will be incident at an angle of incidence equal to critical angle. So the ray will undergo grazing ray emergence, and because of that, what happen the rays will not enter into eye and is unable to see the bottom. I should show it here. Huh? So actually what happened is like a somewhere here. So here, this, okay, somebody is asking, sir, what is the source? Source is here which will emit light. Now don't think like this, sir, here high is there, so this will block. So that this light, what will happen, will enter. Only when it undergoes totally. What about this ray? It will undergo TIR, no? So there's no doubt on that one. No? What about this ray? It will undergo TIR. Some good questions can be asked, just be alert. Let's come to this. Refractive indexes of a medium in XY coordinate. The maximum y coordinate of the ray is. This is the incident ray at an angle 30 degrees. Look at the mu. Mu varies along y-axis. So how you split the medium? How the boundaries should be parallel to x-axis. No? So these are the boundaries. No? We'll have like this boundaries. Variable refractive index. Just do 2-3 problems. Don't do 5-6. Time is not sufficient. Just pick up mu varying along x, mu varying along y. Do the 2 problems. And another, how much of depth the ray will go. 3 numericals you have to do and you have to come out. Okay, these are the, now this will become normal. Y-axis will become normal at the origin. The ray is moving. So what is the refractive index here? 4/3. So the ray, and put y equal to 0. Here y equals 0. So mu is how much? 2. And what is this? This is 4/3. 4/3 is what? 1.3. So definitely what happen, the ray is moving from right to denser. No? So what should happen to the ray? It's moving from, it should bend towards normal. The maximum y coordinate is what is asking. Well, the ray will move like this, or the ray should move like this here. Yeah, I'll trace out the ray now. So the ray, what will happen, will come. This is the, say, angle of refraction r. This angle of incidence psi. Okay, take this is theta. Now come for here. As value of y will increase, what will happen to the mu? Mu will decrease, no? So it is moving from denser to rarer. So the ray now from here starts bending, and it will be like this. This is the maximum value of y. I'll give better diagram. How to get that maximum y coordinate. So here at this particular point, what is the dy by dx will be 0. So let me apply first Snell's law here. So what is the value of here? We'll take mu naught. This is mu naught into, and here is what? Mu. So mu naught sin I should be equal to refractive index, put y equal to 0. So 2 into sin R. So mu naught value is 4/3. This is 1/2. 2 into sin R. So sin R is equal to 1/3. I think, okay, that's okay, fine. The angle of refraction at that particular point may not be needed for a sin R. Let it be. No, what is the dy by dx value here? Dy by dx value should be 0, no? At this particular point. So first here light, we'll write it here. Mathematics, I'll bring it here now. Dy by dx should be 0. Dy by dx should be 0 means, then what is the condition? Tan theta should be 0. Tan theta should be 0 means r plus theta is 90 degrees. So therefore cot r should be equal to tan theta, and this should be equal to dy by dx, and then everything should be equal to 0. Okay, this okay. Don't substitute. We have to generalize, no? What is mu? Mu into say sin r. Mu is how much? 2 1 plus y square sin r. So sin r will be 1 plus y square by 3. From sin r, we should calculate the cot r. Anybody value?
Root 2, sir.
Y is equal to root 2. Y max is root 2. Okay, so yeah, this part is very important. Once we can get this, how to bring cot r? I think sin r, we have a triangle here. Somebody is asking this. I'll put it here. So now we have to find out the cot r from this triangle, substitute that, and equate for 0. No need to integrate anything. I think same concept. I'll try to take same concept. Will becomes parallel to x, means maximum value of h is asking. Huh? If there in assignment also, you can go for next one here. And this I discussed already in class. So once again, let me put it. Beam of light, what will happen to? So this is the ray. It's saying parallel beam, no? There's a parallel beam of light. So it will bend here. Both will have same angle of reflection. Yes, it should be. R should be same. So this was the angle. Okay, take like this. Yeah. So the angle of incidence, how much? 45 degrees, there's a refraction. 45 degrees, there's a refraction. So here it will be like this. No, come for this one. So what was the width of it? So this was that width, no? Or thickness. So now what will be the width is asking. Able to see the diagram? See, it's a purely diagram based problem. Some students asking, sir, like anyway, like a both thing that one. Inside the medium, it will be new thickness, that is T dash. I think you should focus more on this diagram, nothing is there. So there's a air, this part is water. So this angle will be 90 degrees. So this angle should be 90 degrees. T dash is what we have to find out. So this can be 45 degrees. This must be 45. I'll take it here. Look at this one, cos 45 degrees is equal to T by X. So this, let me call this as X here. AB is equal to X. Okay, for your benefit, I'm just giving that triangle. Okay, don't get confused. At the same time, what is cos R? Cos R, we can define it as, this will become R, no? So cos R will become X by T dash. And this is R 90 minus R. This will be R. Yeah, this 90 degrees. So cos R will be T dash, this is X, this one. So cos R will be T dash by X. Apply Snell's law. Sine 45 degrees equal to mu sine R. So 1 by root 2 equal to mu sine R. Okay, in solving this, we'll get expression. And I'll give the option.
C option.
Option D will come.
D, sir.
C will come. Okay. Do remember, there's a very important can be asked any other thing. Only that triangles will get confused. Huh? These triangles. Get this one question number 153. The minimum value of Ri of the material of the rod so that TR takes place at B. He himself is telling minimum value. I'll draw the diagram, meanwhile you think it. Huh? There's a thing. Okay, here. So it's telling the ray is incident at 45 degrees. So the ray what will happen, move from right to denser medium. So should bend towards normal. Take like this diagram. So it should undergo here. If it undergoes TIR, just undergoes TIR or let it be this one. So this is the rays incident, double ear refraction. Here it will undergo TIR. So here the ray enters at A. At B should undergo TIR. Then only it cannot emerge from this particular side P1 or P1, P2. I discussed in class. So once again, I just wanted to revise it. So what is the basic condition? R plus I should be 90 degrees and the angle of incidence here. This I should be what should be the angle of incidence here? This one should be greater than or equal to critical angle, or should be less than that one for it to undergo. So there's a normal. This AB ray AB will become an incident ray, and this will become angle of incidence. If angle of incidence is greater than or equal to critical angle, the ray will undergo TIR. So first, what is the basic necessity condition? I must be greater than or equal to critical angle at B for the ray not to emerge from P1, P2. So let's get into the, so here I plus R should be 90. So I replace I, this will be 90 minus R. Applying Snell's law on both sides. Sine of 90 minus R. Shall we go for cos R? Then applying Snell's law at A. Okay, I'll verify it. Huh? This one, so sine 45 equal to, this is mu, no? Mu sine R. So this will be 1 by root 2 mu sine R. So cos R has to be replaced. So for that we have 1 by mu root 2 equal to sine R. Cos R will become root of 1 minus sine square R. Sine 3 should be 1 by mu. 1 minus sine square R will be 1 by mu root 2 whole square greater than 1 by mu. Substituting this, two mu minus 1 mu square, no? Mu square.
There it should be root 2, sir.
Which one?
First one. The denominator.
Okay, that one. Mu root 2 mu square. Correct, no? It will be like a 1 by
First expression on the right side, sir.
root 2 whole square. Okay. Yeah, there should be root 2. Okay, I think I messed up here. 2 mu square will come, 2 mu square minus 1 mu square root 2 will come outside. Mu square get cancelled, so here root 2 will be there. Okay, fine. Yeah, this will be root 2. Squaring this will get only 2 mu square minus 1. Yeah. What is the idea? The minimum value of refractoriness. If mu is greater than root 3 by 2 for any angle or only for 45 degrees, this is applicable. Okay, finally we got answered. So how to interpret that one? Only for angle 45 degrees, this is applicable. Or for any angle of incidence. I think in class I discussed for any angle of incidence, what is the minimum value of mu so that it will not escape from you. What we brought is for 45 degrees. Anything greater than this, it will undergo TIR. So for any angle of incidence means, again, we have to bring that condition. In notes, there, just verify that one. There's a difference between those two ideas are there. In class, for any angle of incidence, the ray must not escape from P1, P2. That was in class I discussed. And it was mu equal to root 2, greater than or equal to root 2 it was. Here some at angle 45 degree, the condition is brought. Just do make observation what conditions that are made available. Similarly, one more, and there's a fiber optic cable. Even in advance, they may ask you regarding the fiber optic cable. This, if you want, you can write this as a cable. As a refractive index 4/3 is surrounded by a medium of refractiveness 2, a light ray is incident at the midpoint of one of the rod as shown in figure. The incident angle theta for which the light ray grazes along the wall of the rod. The same numerical, that was theta 45 degree. Here the theta is unknown. The theta is what is asking. The mu of the cylinder and mu outside given. Please do think. So what is available? The mu of slab, what is this angle of incidence was given. This is here. Okay, okay, get this one. So this is a. So he was asking the value of mu. So what is given now? Mu of this medium, mu of the slab. He's asking what is this angle. I think both are same question. Only the diagram little bit conditions are changing here. So the ray what happened must undergo TIR. The idea involved in both the problems, it is same. That's what I feel. This is theta. So the ray is moving from, okay, this is a mu1, I'll write it mu2. And the ray is moving from right to 4 by root 3. Denser to NO should bend away from normal. Mm-hmm. 4 by root 3, 1.7. Okay, the right to denser. So it should bend towards normal. So here the ray should undergo, so it should graze this one. Okay, start like this now. This is theta. Call this is say some r. Okay, this is phi. Then r plus phi should be 90. There's one basic condition. Then this phi should be equal to critical angle. And we have refractive index mu1. So what is the basic Snell's law of refraction? What you apply here? Mu2 sine phi should be equal to mu1 sine 90 degrees. So mu2 is how much? 4 by root 3 sine phi should be equal to mu1 is 2 into 1. So sine phi is equal to root 3 by 2. So this angle now we know it. How much it is? 60 degrees. Then what is R? R will be 30 degrees. Directly come for this one. What is sine theta? So mu1 sine theta should be equal to mu2 sine R. Mu1 is how much? 2 sine theta. Mu2 is 4 by root 3. Sine R will be 1 by 2. No need of any much mathematics. Straight away you have to apply this condition. I think these are very important. You check advance. Something related to TIR 7 times they've asked, not 1, 2. So we think that something very good maths-based problems, that one. But the TIR is what he has asked 7 times. Huh? Different cases of TIR is what I'm just bringing. So in with Prism, more TIR applications are there in Prism. Go through some TIR. Definitely, the ideas involved will be very not troublesome. No, just applying the Snell's law condition. Nothing we get there. But he has asked us 7 times, not 1, 2. Please give priority for such small topics which doesn't need much mathematics here. This can be fiber optic cable also. If I make angle, if I increase theta, what will happen to R? R will increase. R will increase. If R increases, phi will decrease. Then it will escape. So therefore, so what should be the angle of incidence? If I make the angle of incidence here less than theta, so if I further decrease, R will decrease, this will increase, and this is the critical angle. No? If the angle of incidence is more than critical angle, then it will undergo TIR. So this is called like a launching cone angle. So if you draw a cone here, so any ray which lies within that cone, it will undergo successive TIRs. So after this, what happen? If I just make the angle of incidence here less than theta, here the angle of incidence will be greater than critical angle. Then the ray will undergo TIR. Successive TIRs it will undergo, and it's going to reach the one end to another end without loss of light. Let me just cover that concept here. Now there's a ray of light. If this angle is what is the length? Length even if this length is of 1,000 kilometer, no, it is going to undergo TI. So what is this angle? This alpha should be less than theta. It will undergo successive TIs. You need not to bother. It will continue. I'll extend further a little bit. Any conceptual question can be asked if they're in advance. Let me move this. It will undergo successive TIs. How many? Like as long as the length of the tube is there, no, length of that particular rod is there, it will undergo successive TIs. Okay, please do remember any general passages can also be asked in final advance, so you have to be careful. Provided that alpha should be less than theta. Okay, we have one more. The shift formula. So we'll analyze some shift problem. This slab one. Okay, there's a slab. There's a convex mirror. And these are the rays. Okay, definitely this will be virtual object. Okay, we'll keep like this. Last time it is one problem will finish off. Huh? Okay, they're having a thickness T. there's a mu, there's a focal length f. So there's a virtual object, you can see it. So the focal length, let it be. So what is the distance? PO, PO will be greater than f. So you can put 3f by 2 or 2f or so what will be that condition. 3f by 2, I'll write PO equal to 3f by 2. What will be the position of final image? So what is this image? What is this object? Virtual object? See here. So where do the position of final image? So what is the slab? So without this rays, okay, this sort of position of object, no, the mirror will not see the object to be at O. It will, for it to appear at O dash. And you see that one, the shift will be in the direction of incident rays. So what is the value of shift? According to the formula, shift should be equal to 1 minus 1 by mu into T. So T is equal to, you take mu 3 by 2, T equal to 6 centimeter. 2 centimeter will be shift. So where do the object will not appear at O, will appear at O dash. So therefore the rays after passing through the slab will appear to converge. So for this will be the dotted one only. I have to show it. Still I have to show it to be dotted one. Focal length. So now this will become PO dash will become object. O dash will become virtual object for the mirror, that one. So then we'll apply the mirror formula 1 by PI dash plus PO dash equal to this one. So now we know the formula here. So this will be PI dash. This will be how much? PO dash. For that you should have 2 centimeter. Let focal length, let it be 10 centimeter. So 3f by 2. So what is the value of 3 by 2 into 10? 15 centimeter is there. So how much it will appear? At 17 centimeter plus 17. So calculate this, we'll get PI dash. Where do the image will be? (17 by 170). 1 by 10. So the image will be 1 by 10, 0. 170 by 7.
7 by 170, sir.
7 by 170, sorry. Or 170 by 7 will come. So PI dash will be so 70 to 140 around 24.
24.18.
24.18. So 24.18 means, so the I dash will be somewhere here. Okay, now what will happen? The reflected ray will pass through it, no? Pass through the slab where the final image should be. Towards left of I dash or towards right of I dash. Say real object, you can manage left of the I dash, no? Because after reflection, the rays will pass through the slab. After the rays will pass through the slab, so we will, how much of shift will be? Shift will be 2 centimeter. Anybody value? 20?
4.18.
20, or we'll make it 2 centimeter. Yeah. 22.1 centimeter will be the final image from the mirror. (22.2 centimeter). This will be the final image. See, like what this slab will do, any ray passes through it in the direction of the path of the ray, it will produce shift. Provided what when the refractive index of slab is greater than that of medium. When the refractive index of the medium, when the refractive slab is greater than that of medium, will be opposite to incident ray. I think we have discussed this in class if you recollect here. So the slab, nothing to do. what it does, it just produces the shift. So in the nearby lens, it will come nearby the prism, nearby the concave mirror, nearby the plane mirror. So the duty of that, it will produce the shift in the direction of incident ray when the Ri of the slab more than that of medium. Multiple slab comes, then you go for superposition. If one more slab is there, then you add shift due to that also and solve it. These are very students, what happen, they more get involved in the ray diagram. Just you should know what action the ray is present. Don't go for exact ray diagram. I think in exam, especially integer type, what is the necessity of ray diagram? Just you should have a basic picture like how the rays are moving. Rest of everything with mathematics, you should trace it out. If they ask you which is the possible ray diagram that will reflect the situation, then you should think, so you should don't go for ray diagram exact, just a rough idea. You see, like I just got an idea, the rays are incident, afterwards, okay, they'll be here. Then again, these rays, they'll get reflected. So here what happen, it should be like, so they'll get reflected here, so it'll come like this. Then so it should not be in this direction. It will form a real image, no? So it will be like this, slightly they'll bend. Then again during reflection, so they'll pass through like this. The ray what happen will come, will be like this. So here they'll get reflected. Again they'll bend like this. So when they pass through it, no, will come. So the image which was I dash should be here I. So what happened to the rays? Initially they were converging. See, I have seen questions. They don't give any data. No, you change the position of slab, nothing will happen. No, the shift will be this much only. Am I right? The shift will be that much. As you change the position of slab, the shift will be that much only. So now what happened? Initially the rays are converging. That one. After reflection from the mirror and passing through the slab, the rays will be diverging. So what is this I final image will be virtual. So there's a virtual image and there's a virtual object. Okay, I'll stop the class here. Okay, thank you all of you. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye. See you.